Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Oji.
Good morning, Dr. Bati. How are you?
I'm good.
Good morning, Tundu. I'm enjoying everything that is going on. I have a lot of respect now for the Queen and the statement that was released. I thought it was very important that they released that statement and addressed the issue of racism. Well, good morning, Rufai. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Audrey, how's it going? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the highlights of what's trending across the globe. Buckingham Palace has broken its silence over Harry and Meghan's bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey. In a statement on behalf of the Queen, the monarchy admitted that the allegations of racism made by the Sussexes were concerning and will be taken very seriously. Then, TV host Piers Morgan topped the trend in the UK after walking off the set of Good Morning Britain midway through filming with co-anchor Alex Beresford, who condemned his attack on Meghan Markle.
I understand that you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this program, a number of times. And I understand that you've got a personal relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one, and she cut you off. She's entitled to cut you off if she wants to. Has she said anything about you since she cut you off? I don't think she has, but yet you continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no.
Sorry. Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, maybe not my
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do
This is
this.
absolutely diabolical behaviour.
The controversial comments made by Piers Morgan about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex has sparked over 41,000 complaints, leading to an Ofcom investigation. Amid the controversy, ITV announced that he was leaving their breakfast show. In Nigeria, the Kano State Police Command has reported a foreign camel train that camped in some areas of the state after some residents raised alarm over the strange presence of the large caravan of camels. Finally, in entertainment, the nominations for the 74th British Academy Film Awards is out, and actor Daniel Kaluuya has been nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Judas the Black Messiah.
A revolutionary! I am a revolutionary! I am a revolutionary! I am a revolutionary! Black Panthers are forming a rainbow coalition of oppressed brothers and sisters of every color. You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom. I live for the people. I live for the people, but I love the people.
Tundu, I have my fingers crossed for him. I really, amazing.
Wow.
Well, let's begin with reactions to the federal government's claim that the £4.2 million loot recovered from former governor of Delta State, James Ibori, will be used to fund 3 infrastructural projects, including the second Niger Bridge. Following a memorandum of understanding signed on Tuesday between the federal government and the United Kingdom, Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, said Nigeria remains committed to combating illicit financial flows and ensuring that forfeited or recovered proceeds of corruption are deployed to the benefit of the masses. The freshly recovered loot was seized from the former governor, who was convicted of fraud and money laundering by a British court in 2012. Well, many Nigerians have shared mixed reactions. Let's take a tweet from Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project. The group wrote, "We urge the Nigerian government to urgently clarify why the £4.2 million Ibori loot will be used for the construction of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and the second Niger Bridge, despite telling Sarah last year that Abacha loot of over $600 million was marked for the same project." This story has garnered a lot of reactions, especially from the people of Delta, which I am part of. I mean, people are saying, why is this money that was taken from Delta State going into the federal coffers? And the points that Serap has raised, we need the accounts, because, they have been talking about all the recovered loots. There have been several recovered loots that have not been accounted for at this point, going into those particular projects. Tundu.
So we discussed this earlier during the news headlines, and The federal government appears to be towing the more recent line of recovered loot goes to the federal government. But there's some major differences here with the Ibori case, because the Abacha loot, he was a head of state, so it makes sense that it goes to the federal government. The Ibori loot, he was a state governor. So the Attorney General's claim I don't agree with is the part where he says the victim of this crime was Nigeria and not Delta State. No, the victim was Delta State. It was Delta State that, was owed the money. So it should go back to Delta State. And the other issue of how the money has been spent, the $300 million, and then there was from the United States of America, then there was a $308 million that came from Jersey with very stringent conditions attached. The federal government had to specifically spend that money on specific projects, including what you've just said, the Second Niger Bridge and what have you. The Americans actually put a clause that if they fail to spend it as agreed, Nigeria would have to repay that money. So I want to really hope that the government will not put us in debt by failing to adhere to the strict dictates of that clause, which I find actually quite insulting, but that's a whole other issue. Now, with the Delta State repatriated funds from the United Kingdom, there are no conditions there. They did not enter into an agreement with the United Kingdom on how it should be spent. So that also supports the argument from Delta State indigents that it should go back to Delta State. But what I wanted to just add to my earlier comments was the comments of Catriona Liang, the High Commissioner in Nigeria. I will never forgive David. I keep calling him James Cameron. I like movies, Titanic. No, David Cameron. I'll never forgive him. I will never. The truth hurts. Fantastically corrupt. Yes, we are, but how dare you? How dare you? So I like the fact that she said that the United Kingdom is not a home for anybody's looted funds. Right. Because my umbrage with David Cameron was pointing fingers at Nigeria and Afghanistan while exonerating yourselves, the United Kingdom. There's a whole chain that makes this corruption possible, and the UK did play part. So it's good to hear that that avenue is going to be slammed shut going forward.
Right. Dr. Abati, comment from you?
Well, as I said earlier, I think we should commend first the federal government and all the persons who have been able to enter into negotiations with the UK government to get this money back. In addition to what has been done previously to get looted funds from Switzerland, to get from the island of New Jersey, or island of Jersey, or even from the United States, this again sends a very strong signal that the government is serious about illicit international financial flows, yes, and that wherever the money goes, the government, in collaboration with other sovereigns, will trace the money. Where the controversy lies is as regards where should the money go back to. And we have said previously that the position of the Minister of Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice can be challenged in court. But of course, the fact that the Attorney General is saying that, oh, it's a federal law that has been violated, does not settle the matter, because the people of Niger Delta State and others, right, we are all stakeholders in the matter, and public opinion should be considered, right, even right, in relation to the law. But let's take a quick break. When we return, the program will continue. Okpe is still here.
Welcome back to the morning show. We're still on what's trending. Rufai, before we went on a break, we were talking about the £4.2 million loot recovered from James Ibori, former governor of Delta State, to be used for 3 infrastructural projects. What's your take on that?
For me, I just wanted to, I mean, a lot has been said, but I just wanted to say the hypocrisy of the UK is just too much, and I can't stand the level of hypocrisy. This was the same UK that fought Nigeria government many years ago about Umar Diko. We all know the story. This is the same UK that a lot of Russian oligarchs take state capture to capture the wealth of Russia, and they buy properties in Knightsbridge and some other parts of the UK. This is the same UK. Now they are saying, no, we have no room for illicit financial flows. How did the money get there in the first place if there was no collusion with the UK in the first place? So why is Catriona Liang coming to tell us as though they are saints? Because it's the same people, too, that connive with our people to take our money over there that will be saying to the Queen that we are fantastically corrupt. These same people. I'm just calling out their hypocrisy.
Except that Catriona Liang was speaking on behalf of the state, the UK, as a sovereign state, not necessarily on behalf of other actors, non-state actors who may collude with Nigerians. But the thing is, for within the international system, for you to have very strong systems, very strong mechanisms to trace the money, to follow the money, and for the state at the other party to ensure that the law is enforced.
Good point, Dr. Abati.
Want to start
We'll
in all fairness, they should repatriate all the looted funds they stole during slavery and colonialism. Let them start from there.
All right, Rufai.
They should repatriate all those funds they stole during slavery. All the artifacts they took from the Oba Palace in Benin when they invaded in the 1800s, they should return all of that. Let's start from there on a clean slate.
Great. We'll take another story. In Oyo State, Nigeria. Fulani leader who was arrested by the Yoruba nationalist organization, the Odua People's Congress, and other local security outfits on allegations of kidnappings and other heinous crimes in the state has denied engaging in any wrongdoing. The elderly man, Isikilu Wakili, who was arrested on Sunday for allegedly having a link with kidnappers, said he was in fact a victim of kidnapping and has had to pay ransom to kidnappers who abducted his sons. His arrest has elicited angry reactions from many organizations and from the Are Onakakanfo of Yoruba land, Iba Gani Adams, who has complained over the arrest of the OPC members involved in apprehending Wakili. Dr. Abati, I'd love your take on this story.
Well, very quickly, this has been very controversial. And then the gentleman was paraded yesterday, I think, by the you see, when you had gentleman, well, he was paraded by the police in Oyo State, and he affirmed that he's innocent, that he went to the Republic of Benin and returned, I think 2 days ago, only for him to be apprehended by the OPC, men of the Odua People's Congress, and was handed over to the Ibori police station, from where he was later transferred to the state CID in Ibadan. He is accused of being the kingpin, the bandit kingpin in the Barakpa area of Oyo State, where there have been a lot of notoriety in terms of kidnapping, seizure of people's lands, violation of people's rights to land. But he is insisting that he's innocent. But he's in the custody of the relevant authorities. Is for the police command in Oyo State to then determine whether he has a case to answer or not. Nobody can be convicted on the basis of public bias. And I guess that's why the commissioner of police in Oyo State, the lady was saying that, look, people should stop referring to him as a Fulani bandit. They should not profile him ethnically. But of course, you know that there is that ethnic thing to it, particularly as the OPC members who apprehended him and handed him over to the police were also arrested. But we were told that yesterday, 3 of them, Ramoni and Adegbero and one other person, that they have been released. And the question, of course, is that, yes, there is room for citizen action. Even you, OG, if you see somebody who is misbehaving, you can arrest the person.
We were discussing that earlier.
The condition is that you will hand over that person to the police.
Yes.
You know, you don't have the right under the law to begin to punish the person under Nweke versus State and Section 12 of the Criminal Procedure Act. You know, you can apprehend somebody, but you don't then take the law into your hands. So the other leg of it, he is alleging that the OPC that came to apprehend him, they destroyed his property, they killed a lady in his household, and that, he's innocent, he doesn't deserve that kind of punishment. But it's for the police to do proper investigation. And, the Yoruba people are saying, oh, why are they targeting the OPC members who are trying to help? Well, the latest we have heard is that those 3 OPC persons have been released thanks to the intervention of the governor of Oyo State, and Iba Gani Adams, the generalissimo of the unofficial Nigerian army, Yoruba army.
All right, Rufai, I don't know if you can make a quick comment before we move over to our final story on this.
Let's move on to the final story. I think Dr. Abati has tackled the matter head on. Let's move over to the final story quickly.
All right, well, we were just going to discuss Piers Morgan, really, on this final story, him walking out on Alex, as well as the fact that ITV has said that he's no longer part of their breakfast program. Tundu, over to you.
Poor dear Piers. I have to say, who's that lady, right? I can't remember her name now, who said, I don't have to agree with what you're saying, but I will defend you to the death, your right to say it. And that's how I feel now about Piers Morgan. I find him a little bit antagonistic in his stance on this show. And like yesterday, I was talking about how he has made Meghan Markle his bête noire. Why is he so obsessed, and what is the root of this visceral hatred? Because apparently she no longer wanted to be friends. He needs to examine that. But I think it's really unfortunate that he lost his job, especially because there were 41,000 complaints to Ofcom.
Yeah.
And the previous record was Diversity, that black dance group. They did a dance routine about Black Lives Matter, and there were so many complaints, 10,000 complaints. And Piers Morgan was fighting so hard, defending them, and now he's fallen victim to this culture whereby people cannot say what they think. But where I think he went too far, perhaps in my opinion, is to say he did not believe her. We need to move away from that. If somebody is talking about mental illness, just because there are no physical symptoms, we should not say it's not true, just because the scars are not obvious. I don't think any woman is going to sit on international TV talking about how she wanted to end her life while she was pregnant. That's not a joke. So I think he did go too far, but I think it's unfortunate that it has come to this. He ought to have perhaps tried to control himself a little bit.
It's all about control. Dr.
Yes.
Abati.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Rufai should say something. You know, I'm a Piers Morgan fan,
really bad
and this has been called Mogzate.
Yes.
But I mean, he expressed an opinion. The channel ITV probably has a different policy with regard to mental health, and when they could not agree, he decided to take a walk because he's trying to make a strong statement that he cannot be gagged. Can express his own viewpoint. And as Afia Adam said earlier, even the UK is polarized down the middle.
Yes.
But it will be fine.
But you know, I think as a journalist, you have to be careful of the kind of view, the type of viewpoints that you express. You know, Rufai.
No, as long as you don't gag the journalists.
Well, yes, Rufai.
But we have to be serious here. Give it to Piers Morgan, great journalist any day, any time. You know, he has his own downsides. I'm not a fan, I would say. I'm not a fan of his style of his journalism, but I respect what he has done for Good Morning Britain. He made that show. I suspect, I think Good Morning Britain might not survive after Piers Morgan, and I stand to be proven wrong as regards that. He's made a lot of money for himself on that show. He'll get another job in an instant. A lot of new channels are coming up. He'll do well for himself. No doubt about that. But one thing Piers Morgan needs to know is that plurality of thought is the hallmark of journalism. Piers Morgan doesn't understand plurality of thought. That was what affected him in CNN. That's what affected him in Daily Mirror, and everywhere he has worked, he's been sacked. In CNN, the same thing he did. He tried to make the gun conversation about him when Americans have a gun culture and there's a gun lobby going on. He doesn't understand plurality of thought. The ITV team told him to come back on air and apologize to be able to balance that out. And that was deliberately why they brought Alex, to be able to balance the conversation out. He refused to apologize. He could have just apologized on air.
On that note, we need to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Abati. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.